Evening and welcome to another episode of the Men's Lounge. Obviously, you know today's a Thursday and it's 9 p.m. and so we are going to come your way with an exciting discussion. So today we'll be talking something very controversial. I mean, it seems as though it's become a thing, and some people think it's helping, others think it's not. I mean, I'll tell you what we'll be discussing soon. But hey, it's just to say you're welcome to today's episode, and COVID is still real. It's in the corner. And so I would urge you to keep wearing your mask. Before I proceed, let me tell you something. So there's a new program we have. Okay, it's actually not new. It's been around for a while. It's called Christian Connect. And so deep discussions on the biblical teachings, the latest news from the gospel music industry, Bible quizzes, updates on trending Christian movies are the order of the day on the Christian Connect show, starting on the 25th of April 2021 on ETV at 4 p.m. So from the 25th of April, at 4 p.m. on ETV, you start watching the show. It's been hosted by seasoned journalist Paul Anumakodia. I'm sure you know Paul. Paul has been able to turn his let me just say in quote defect to a positive. And so the Christian Connect show will also highlight key places in the Bible and also give viewers and churches the opportunity to share their church news and event information on Sundays at 4 p.m. It doesn't mean don't go to church. Go to church, but when it's 4 p.m., join us and let's have that discussion. Tune in every Sunday starting from 25th of April 2021 and watch the Christian Connect show with Paul Adumakodie only on ETV Ghana and channel 177 and 815 on Go TV. ETV, your world of quality entertainment. I'm sure you've been also watching the Gong Gong Bita. You've seen that young lady who comes to do that nice performance. So season 2 of the hilarious Gong Gong Bita show is finally here, starting on the 24th of April on ETV Ghana, hosted by teen comedian Arabata. The Gong Gong Bita show is aired on Saturdays at 8 p.m., bringing you the latest juicy and hilarious trending stories from Ghana, current affairs packaged and delivered in a comedy format that can only be found on the Gong Gong Bita show. Tune in and get to laugh out loud with the rest of Ghana whenever you watch the Gong Gong Bita show with Arabata every Saturday at 8 p.m. only on ETV Ghana and channel 117 and 815 on Go TV. So feel free and join us on all our social media handles. Okay, so Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and the likes at ETV Ghana. So at ETV Ghana, you can find us everywhere. And then let your messages start coming early enough today. And I'm likely to also open the phone lines even earlier than I usually do. So the phone number for the WhatsApp, as usual, is 020-2222-054. I repeat, 020-2222-054. I'll go on my very first break. When I'm back, I'll introduce the topic and I'll introduce the guest as well. Please stay with us. So, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are in the Men's Lounge and we are about to start our discussions. I did mention earlier that when I'm back, I'm going to tell you what we are talking about, and then I'll introduce the guests that I have today. I have two gentlemen, very interesting people indeed. You love them by the time they leave here. And so we are discussing mobile phones. Okay, so mobile phones as a leading cause to a lot of divorce cases lately. So we did a little research, okay, in the past 2 weeks. We've been doing some little research. And it seems as though most of the divorce cases that we came across, when you follow the story, there seemed to be some mobile phone lingering somewhere. What at all is this mobile phone doing? Because almost every case that we reviewed had some issue with a mobile phone, a device, a communication device, some way, somehow, in there somewhere. And so we thought we should have that discussion. And with me to do the discussion today, I have Isaac Denchi Kurantin. He's an entrepreneur and a business strategist. Isaac, Akwaba. You know, sake of COVID, we don't do all the, so we just have to stretch and do someone. Yeah, we call it posa. Okay, so that's Isaac for you. And I also have with me Alfred Queno. Alfred Queno happens to be a banker. All right, so he has a nickname. I'll tell you before we leave here. Alfred, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You can't warn me in the lounge. It's my lounge.
It's a lounge to all of us. It's not your lounge. It's a lounge to all of us.
So you are here to. Hey,
I'm going to take over your program right now.
Oh yeah, go on. Okay, so these are the two guys I have with me to have to do the discussion, and like I said, we did a little research, okay, and almost all the divorce cases we found out that there is an element of mobile phone somewhere, some communication device. Mobile phone, oh yeah, why is it becoming a problem? At some point in the program, also, we are likely to call Reverend Benny Benson. You know our friend Benny Benson, he comes to the lounge quite often. He's a counselor, and then we will also ask him a few questions. He might have a lot to share whilst we go on. So guys, once again, welcome.
Thank you.
So this whole issue about mobile phone, we all know it's not a human being, but mobile phone is becoming an issue. Look, we did a little research, okay, like I said from the start, and realized that almost all the divorce cases we have seen so far, if you follow the cases, there's always some element of some device, a mobile phone somewhere, a text message somewhere, somebody not allowing something. It's been like that. So let's start this way. So we all know mobile phone has to do with technology, right? So my question even from the start is technology taking out the joy in our relationships? In the sense of men and women today are busy on their laptops all the time, phone couples are drifting apart for lack of communication.
Okay, so the reality is the world has moved. I mean, okay, so we're kind of experiencing the third industrial revolution, which is technology.
Okay.
You know, and social media and everything there. I read a research that said people that lived in the 1960s, 1950s, the amount of data or information they consume in a year, we consume it probably in a day, today. All right? So our world has evolved. The reality is everything we do has to do with technology. So technology has come to aid us, to make things better. But of course, it comes with a trailing leg. You're a footballer, so the first one that goes for.
You should have said a very good one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think so. Very dangerous one. So the first leg goes for the ball.
Yeah.
But it's the second leg that always destroys or causes harm to the opponent. So yes, it's a good thing that is helping our society, but it also comes with a lot of damages. What I think is the problem is not necessarily the mobile phones.
Okay.
The problem has to do more than that. But let's go on.
Well, let me just hold you on this one. So Alfred, is technology taking over our relationships, our marriages, and all that?
Like I said in this introduction, technology in itself is an enabler. Ideally, it's supposed to make life easier for us. In the past, if I don't have a phone in my home, I'll need to walk to a phone booth, probably queue, before I'm able to call you. Today, all that nonsense has been taken out. It's in my palms. It makes it easier for me to reach you at any time. The other leg, like I said, is the fact that we seem to be taking this for granted, that technology is supposed to bridge a gap for us. For instance, I can be here having a chat with you. I'll pick my phone and be WhatsApping some other person. And the point is that why
are you not multitasking?
That's not multitasking. Because I have a need for coming to see you.
Okay.
Now while I'm with you, I'm chatting some other person. Interestingly, when I go meet that other person, I'll still pick my phone and be chatting some other person. So then the bridge has been closed, but then emotionally, we have a very wide gap. So technology has bridged the gap, the physical gap, but it looks like emotionally the gap keeps increasing. I don't want to say everything now. As the program progresses, we'll be giving more examples and we'll be talking more.
So then, I mean, I believe it then means that it's come to play an integral part of our lives now.
Oh yes.
Right?
I mean, there's no doubt.
So then, I mean, playing an integral part. So why should it now begin to give us negatives?
Well, you see, Mr.
Like,
Krinu mentioned something. It's a good thing, but it is also making us to become very individualistic. We are not reaching out. We are not communicating among ourselves. There was this prisoner in the U.S. He was imprisoned falsely. All right, I think somewhere in 1960s thereabouts, and he was just released. a couple of years ago. Remember, the guy in 1960 never saw our world. So when they released him, he said he gets to the squares and he can sit and just watch human beings. And it's like everybody has this thing in the ear and everybody is to himself. And he can't really connect to that.
Yeah.
That is what we are creating for ourselves. So it is now making us befriend our phones, all right, forgetting the people around us, the people that need a love from us, that need affection, connections, whatever, you know, and that is what is really taking us down the ditch, you know.
Let me add this. You see, right now, in the past, for me to enjoy anything technology, my father has to make a deliberate effort. So if it is that I must go to an arcade, I must do something maybe so well in school to get a coin. Go to I wouldn't run about. Go play arcade. Even with that, if I'm not so good at it, by 5 minutes time, I'm done. I'm done.
Your money is done.
And the next time I have the chance to go there is probably if I save my lunch money or I do something monumental again and I get that money. So it means that in the past, for me to enjoy technology properly, it has to be a deliberate effort. Funny enough, as we sit right now, for you to have an engaging and meaningful discussion with your child, your wife, you rather have to make a deliberate effort at it. Technology has now replaced the normal. And the abnormal thing we do now is to not make a deliberate effort to chat with our wives and our kids. So my daughters come from school. The first thing they do, they want to do their homework. And I know why they want to do their homework quickly. Because once they're done with their homework, they pick my laptop and they go to their room. They're watching cartoons and all that. If I need to have a me time with them, it's like I have to have a timetable where they're done with homework, they're done with cartoons, and then we have a chat before they sleep. But in the past, for them to have access to these things, it's like, oh, we're watching cartoons only on weekends. Even with that, your week must be so good.
Yeah.
Say, teacher has no complaint about you, your next door neighbor has no complaint about you. So on Saturday morning, when you're done with your church and you're watching cartoons, you know you're cool. But to the right from school, homework, boom, to their rooms, watching cartoons. If I want to chat with them like normal human beings do, it must be a deliberate effort. That is where technology is causing us to miss out.
So then I guess we both agree that it's becoming a problem to our relationships then.
Yes. It's becoming a problem. And my point has to do with the fact that if I have to relate to Ike, it must be a deliberate effort. And that's what the problem is.
Whilst in the past it was the other way around.
Where if I want to enjoy technology, then I must make, okay, fine, maybe this weekend I have to go and watch a movie. But now the movie is in your face, Netflix. The games are in your face. Even if you don't have DSTV, you can see it online. Your kids are watching cartoons. All the things you used to do as pastime has become rather the mainstay. And then the mainstay has become a pastime. So the whole week you can have probably a meet time with your kids, like so 1 hour before they sleep. But from school to like the 8 o'clock before they sleep, you lie bad. It's cartoons, homework cartoons. And hey, even the assignments are being done online. So
let's narrow it to family right now.
Yes.
So if we both agree that it's draining our relationships, draining us in a general term, what are some of the things that's really is causing to our marriages and our relationships?
Well, okay, so marriage is based on certain pillars, all right? One is love, trust, understanding, faith, and respect. Okay, these are the things that I mean hold a house together. Now, the moment you introduce things that weakens each of these pillars, then that whole house will collapse. It will come down. All right, and that is what mobile phones, in particular, are doing. It is taking the love, as we've already said, it's taking the love away from spending time, quality time with your partner, all right, to spending time on your phone or your laptop. Sometimes it could be genuine. I mean, you have work to do, but it's taking a lot of time. Respect. I'm here. I'm a human being, sitting in the room with you. You're holding your phone and doing something on it. That is absolute disrespect.
Yeah.
All right? So the same mobile phone, I mean, weakens that particular pillar. understanding. You know, we can go on and go on and go on. But the point is, if we don't make deliberate effort to create certain times that as families we can sit and have meaningful conversations, that as couples we can spend some time to talk, we're never going to find it. Because at every given point there will be something that is calling your attention. Don't forget, the mobile phone is designed today to create variety of content for you. Anything you want, any movie you want, so services on demand, anything you want, any app you want, you'll get it there. So if you don't take time from morning till evening, you'll spend it on the mobile phone. You know, I think the way out, and as Koyo said,
I was going to ask you. So what will be the way out?
Yes, is to one, make deliberate effort to engage, all right, and practice some of these very simple, courteous rules, all right. For example, if you've gone into a meeting, it's always better you put your phone on silent, even sometimes turn it, so a flashing call doesn't disrupt you, right? Because if you're with people, you need to show respect to them. I think those are the ways, because you see, the reality is, let's face it, you cannot do without this thing. So I'll be very hypocritical to sit here and say, yeah, just don't use your phone. Or
no, but I mean, you can decide that. Okay, fine. I mean, Monday to Friday, we know it's busy and all that. So yes. Saturday and Sunday, let's all go off our phones or our devices.
How do you check the live scores?
Which live scores? I thought we are trying to make an effort here.
Yes, but that is why he's saying that he's not going to be hypocritical about it and pretend that, look, we can disengage easily. Yes, I can make a conscious effort that on Saturdays I'm going to disengage. But you know, Arsenal is playing, you are watching. You have to check the scores to understand what's happening in other games.
But what would the score do? I mean, if you are checking the score and the game will still be played anyway, so and then you can check. You have to check the score. No, you need to check the score to understand what's happening.
No. Look, the game is not. Let me digress. The game is not only what you are watching. It's a league you are watching. It's a league you are following. Sorry. So if Man U is playing, I'm watching Man U. I need to understand what's happening in Man City's game. So if my phone is, what do? I pretend I'm comfortable. I know I'm not comfortable. I need to understand what's happening in other games.
So at this point, your wife should just leave and go and sleep somewhere.
No. She also be on. You see,
so the effort. So you're not making the effort.
At this point, your wife also pick her phone and probably go to a Telemundo site and be watching hers. The kids also be hiding, so watching cartoons. So you know who then becomes the king? Is a mobile phone dictating our various lives for us.
Yeah. Well, so I'm going to come back to you, but I have this particular question, yeah. And so this same mobile phone thing, I'm thinking, what exactly is on that mobile phone that, because I feel with all this, it's just excuses upon excuses, and people are finding that as an excuse to do other things. For example, what are you doing on your phone whilst your family is around?
Let me take this one.
No, don't take it yet. Okay. I'm going to go on a break. When I come back, we'll just delve straight into it. So please keep your text messages also coming. When we come back, we'll deal with them. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Just joining us, we are in the men's lounge discussing mobile phones. I mean, it's technology month, of course, but we are discussing mobile phones and its impact on relationships, marriages especially. Because with the little research we did, we realized that there is always some aspect of a phone, a text message, something that has to do with a phone, and that causes the divorce and all that. And so I'm going to call, we'll get Reverend Benny Benson, like I mentioned earlier, on the line. We'll ask him a few questions. I mean, since he sees a lot of these cases, maybe he has a solution. So if my producers are ready, let's put him on the line. Good evening, Reverend.
Good evening, my brother.
It's always good to hear from you.
The same. Good to connect with you all the time.
I know, right? I know. So I'm sure you've been listening to the show, I mean, the past few minutes, and we've been discussing the issue of mobile phones. You see, we've had this discussion somewhere before. And in the recent past, some of the issues we have come across shows that there's always an element of a mobile phone in a certain divorce case. Reverend, some of the cases that come to you, do you see these things in there?
Okay. First of all, good evening to all viewers and listeners. Let me start by using the funnel method, looking at it from the global perspective and ending with what we have here. In the U.S., one particular article states that social media is cited in 1 out of 5 divorce cases. And in the UK, there is a site that people can apply to online if they want to go through a divorce process. And out of about 5,000 cases that were filed through their services, 998 were related to social media issues. So when it comes to social media, yes, and divorce, there is some connection there. In Ghana, I wouldn't say that social media has directly resulted in a divorce case that I handled. Rather, social media has pushed a lot of the relationships to the verge of divorce in many cases that I have handled. And when you go into it, you realize that it started as a small habit, developed into an addiction, and at the close of the day, a partner or the entire family is pushed to the sidelines simply because of social media. And that strains the relationship, even to the point of divorce.
So maybe I should just put a blanket question. How exactly do you think this can be resolved?
Well, people should know that you can't replace face-to-face human interaction with interactions on social media. Social media seems to be so present and it seems to be so satisfying because it fulfills what you've been looking for and cannot get in the physical relationship. And this is more because there is also a lot of pretense on social media. So, for instance, if your partner is back from work and is very tired and cannot maintain a fruitful conversation with you, the one you are meeting on social media may not show that tiredness, may show excitement, may be full of exuberance, so you may think that should be the ideal for you. But most of the time, it is simply because the person has put in extra effort to please you. So people should know that they can't replace face-to-face human interactions with what they do on mobile phones. Secondly, it's also very important for people to know that when you break your relationship up because of social media, that social media may not be available or present to fill in the void for you. You'll be so much surprised that although the relationships on social media seem to be so present and so much available, when you are in trouble and need real help, you may not get the help you want from social media.
Okay, so Reverend, let me just cut in here and ask you this. So, from all that we are saying and hearing so far, it comes across as though it has only negatives. Aren't there any positives in this mobile phones and relationships?
Well, there are many positives when it comes to social media. In fact, social media is as good as it helps your relationship.
the phones are not just for social media alone. So then, for me, I'm looking at the presence of mobile phones in marriages and how we handle the phones and all that. Aren't there any positives in there?
There are many positives in there. For instance, personally, I do a lot of research with my wife using the phone. And the children learn pronunciation of words using the phone.
Okay.
So such things bring the family together. There are certain learning videos that we view together as a family on the telephone or mobile phone. So there are many positive sides to it.
Okay.
But then the moment the mobile phone comes in between a fruitful relationship with your partner and is drawing you away from the human beings you are present with, that is where the problem is, irrespective of what you are using it for.
Okay, so Reverend, I think what I'll do is I'm going to have to take your last words, but I want your last words on what you think should be done to curb this, since it's gradually becoming a problem. It starts from little habits, it grows to become something bigger, and then before we know, it's being the cause of divorce for a lot of marriages. What should we do? Should we go off? Should we stop using it?
Okay. Number one, people should be emotionally intelligent enough to notice when their family and partners are beginning to feel that they are not giving them enough attention because of the use of mobile phone. Secondly, the person himself or herself should be able to notice when it is becoming difficult to put down the phone. That can be a sign of you getting addicted to the phone. And that is bad enough because that is the beginning of you not being able to maintain a good relationship with those you love because of the mobile phone.
Okay. All right. So, Reverend, we are grateful. We'd always count on you, and we'll call you anytime. You should come through the studio one of these days so we can have some discussion. Thank you so much for being part of our evening.
Most welcome.
All right, sir. So that was Reverend Benny Benson, our man who comes to the studio to help us all the time, and we are grateful to him. He always gives us good information, especially because most of these cases go to him, and so he has a lot of insights on them. Guys, we are back. So I'm glad we are back here. There's something I've been... before we left, I was asking that. So what exactly is in this mobile phone? Because for me, I find it as a whole excuse. What's in this mobile phone?
Well,
because then I don't see why... You look, why is it causing a problem? It's only a gadget, right? It's only a gadget. And for me, I think it's an excuse because... So I'd have this phone, and I probably should be chatting with some other woman or some girl or something whilst I'm sitting with my wife. And see, so it's not the phone, but it's
the mobile phone. Just as Reverend said, is designed. All right, how it's done is designed to connect you to the outside world. So as we sit here, we are physically here. This thing takes you to everywhere. That is what is in it. So if you do not manage how you use it, then of course you'll be everywhere. You'll not even be able to manage your time well. It will start to affect your performance at work. It will affect your business because you're spending too much time wandering, doing things that are not productive. But at the same time, you can use that same mobile phone to do good stuff.
Okay.
Right? You can have family encounter and experiences where, for example, you sit with the family, you go on YouTube, you look for a documentary or something, watch and discuss with the family. Those are positive side of the same gadget. But there's one thing I would want to say. If you ask me personally, I think the mobile phone is the brain and heart of a man.
The brain and heart of a man.
Yes, because everything you think of everything you desire, it goes through this. And of course, that is why a lot of divorce cases hinge on that. Because if you are infidel, all right,
It makes it easy.
it's through this. if you are building a property somewhere and you're hiding it from your wife, they eventually get to know, or you're hiding it from your husband, you get to know from the phone.
I like that. Hiding from your husband. Balance
Yeah.
it.
Hiding from your husband.
Balance it.
Yeah.
Husband.
Well, yeah, you know.
Because you
So-
think the wives also hide things.
So you see,
I'm not thinking. I'm just asking him to balance. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, okay.
you see,
Okay.
everything we do, we use the mobile phone.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do it and they delete. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what you've cleared. I'm talking about your mind and your heart. You know, it's in there. And so that's where, when, for example, a spouse finds out something, it hurts so much and it breaks the trust. And you know, I did mention of that
Yeah.
5 pillars,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then things start to fall apart.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's what's in there.
So if that is it, why then can't a family use just one phone?
Let me come to.
No, would you speak to what I just asked?
I'll come to that.
Okay.
You have time. You have time. Relax.
No, I
We'll
know.
get
But,
there. Relax. We'll get there.
okay, I'm listening to
You
you.
see, when Ike was talking, he was trying to conceptualize the whole idea, what the mobile phone does in
Mhm.
relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I would also want to take it from another angle, speaking to the same
No,
thing.
no, go ahead.
So, if we all remember, I mean, we are not that old. We were born before computer. We grew up in computer.
Mm.
The very first mobile phones that came were just to give us the chance to have wireless communication.
That's it.
Yeah.
There was nothing else. So instead of me, like the example I gave, going to join a queue or call from a landline, I could sit in my room, heavy phone like the size of this, and call. Over time, that was voice communication. Over time, they added written sort of communication in terms of text message.
Mm.
Then enhancements began.
Then the
to
polyphonic
come in.
tones started.
Good. So from monophonic tones to polyphonic tones
Yeah.
to you creating your own tones.
Yes.
So gradually, all those of us who were now beginning to develop into grown-ups and people coming after us, we're seeing an enhanced form of living, of communicating by the mobile phone.
Which was their start of life as well. Then.
What the mobile phone is today is not what the mobile phone was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now I could pick my mobile phone, I can have church service on Sunday morning. I can organize a mini party in my house after that church on my mobile phone. I can order a ride to go buy things on my mobile phone. On Monday, when I'm working from home, and I don't even have a router, my mobile phone becomes a mini router for me to work. So essentially, all the things I could have put together to have a meaningful life is on a mobile phone. Don't forget, while we are doing all of these things, there are data companies that are able to actually determine who you are based on your footprint you leave online. So as you keep doing 1, 2, 3, they keep showing you 4, 5, 6. By the time you get to 6, they are showing you 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can actually spend your whole day not being bored by being on a mobile phone. You check Instagram, the pictures are nice. You spend like 35, 40 minutes. Then you go to Snapchat, go and do another 45 minutes over there. You come
Do
to
you
Facebook.
just look and go, or you?
I'm answering a question. Don't be preempting what I'm about to say.
I,
Don't ask me more questions.
I just want to
Let
know.
me stick to my course so far. So what will happen is that you end up spending so much time in there. Now, I mentioned something about the pillars in a relationship. So imagine I spend like 4 hours doing all the things that ordinarily I'm supposed to do with a human being on phone. That is 4 hours taken from my partner. 4 hours taken from my children. Now imagine my children also spending those same 4 hours doing things that they could have done with other kids on their laptop. That is 4 hours taken out of real life. So in the end, this mobile phone is no longer a plastic casing covering a few electrical wires. It's a whole world on its own that you live in.
It brings the world to you.
Oh, I mean, I find that quite interesting. And so, what would you then say that because of what it is, when you find your wife on the phone chatting, laughing, and for so long, and you are just there, doesn't it worry?
It
Yes,
worries.
it's-
It worries because you see, the mobile phone is an enabler, like I mentioned. It's supposed to enable us to do things that ordinarily would have taken a bit of time.
But
So I mean, I'm still going to the point that you wanted to make earlier about the fact that should we cancel it? Whoever you are, the mobile phone enables you to be worse or better. So if you're a philanderer, womanizer, the mobile phone makes it easier for you to womanize without trouble. if you love to spread the gospel, the mobile phone makes it easier for you to spread the gospel without trouble. So you cannot tell me that because you have a mobile phone now you found a love for Christ to spread the word. No, you already had a love, but probably you're spreading to people close to you. But with the mobile phone, that brings the word closer to you. Now you have access to be sending Bible quotations every morning to everyone. If you're a philanderer and you could just sit in a Trotsky or taxi to go visit one girl, now with the mobile phone, you can actually set up meet on the mobile phone with our 4 or 5 people that they will not crash. So it is not about this plastic thing.
Exactly.
It's a whole
becomes
other-
part of us.
That's
So okay, you
yeah,
no,
just
finish.
let me
Yeah.
add. So that's why right from the beginning, I did say that the problem is not the mobile phone.
No,
But
you the
But
individual.
it is with the individuals. It is with us. It is with generation of today. All right, where we changing what is valuable, the right things that are valuable, with other stuff. It's about our moral upbringing. It's about our respect for elders. It's about our love for our family and friends. Those are the things that are missing. Those are the things that are breaking. All right. So if you have a child or a young man who has become who is a criminal, as he rightly said, all right, this just enhances that process for him. So let's really look at our society and what are the things going wrong. We all heard of these little kids killing. We've seen today in our society, young people see wealth to be the most important thing. Previously, it was experience, it was knowledge that we cherished. All right, that you want to build, you want to go up the ladder. If you want to be, good academic way to become a doctor or a professor, or you want to. That is not what kids of today are looking at. So those are the major problems. This thing is just an enabler.
So let me just ask this one. So this is an enabler, right? It's supposed to make our lives even better, okay? And so let's look at the concept of marriage, where a man and a woman have come together and they have become one. If I have a mobile phone and it's supposed to enable me do the things I do, once we have become one, should my wife not have access to my phone?
Well, a very good question. And one of the pillars.
Why is Alfred laughing?
Don't worry.
Because he knew I was going to ask the question, but I asked the question in a different way.
Yeah. You see, one of the pillars of marriage, and a key one indeed, is trust. Yeah. Let me put it this way. It's very simple. If you decide to commit your life, okay, in unison with somebody, you forfeit certain rights right from there. That's the truth. I don't see the need for privacy.
You don't see the need for privacy?
Yeah, because the two of you are one. You decided, nobody forced you. Nobody called you that, hey, come.
This is where it's going to get very interesting.
Hold on.
No, it's getting hotter.
Take your time. You're not that fast.
Let me just take a break. Okay, let me just take a break. When I'm back, we can just go. Please stay with us.
We'll put this on ice. Come back. We'll come back.
We'll be back shortly. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are still discussing mobile phones and marriages. Entirely relationships. The impact, the effect. It's sounding as if everything is almost negative, but there's some good positives in there that we also need to talk about. And so before we left, I did ask a question. Okay, the question was in the form of would or should your partner have access to your phone? And I'm sure that is where we left off. The phone lines are open now, and the number is 0555-657278. Please call and let's share your thoughts with us as well. Alfred.
Yes.
Should your partner have access to your phone?
I had a question for you. I spoke about the fact that due to trust being a very important entity in marriage or relationship, your wife or your partner must have access to your phone. I see it differently. Once I'm married to you, I have a relationship with you. The two of us should decide on what will work for us. It shouldn't be that somebody thinks, somebody says, or it is ideal.
Or they say we have become one.
They say we have become one, so we must share passwords or don't have passwords or have access to our phones. For me, I think that the two of us should sit down and ask ourselves, Abner, I know how you are with your friends, the kind of jokes you share. And I know how you are with your friends and the kind of jokes you share. I think we can be free on so many things. But when it comes to phone, I trust you are a matured person and you know what to do right. That is for two people who have decided to go that way. So when people also say that, you know what, since we are married, look, our phones do not have any passwords. If we want to access anything on our phones, you just pick and access. That is also fair based on the two people. There's no one fixed utopian, idealistic rule.
Okay.
That will say that
Alfred, let me hold you
yes.
on this one. There's a caller on the line. Good evening,
Okay.
caller. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Nanayo. I'm calling from Tema.
Hi, Nana. Let's hear you.
Yeah, the topic you are discussing is very, very interesting.
Okay, so it seems we. Okay, can you hear me, Nana?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that as much as we are married and we are one, that is the prescription of scripture, which we all believe.
Okay.
But apart from that, trust is very paramount when it comes to marriage.
Okay.
And I find that the man and the woman, as individuals, we all have our privacy to keep.
Okay.
So the question of the man going probably to go into the wife's phone or the wife going into the man's phone, I think it is something that would have to be discussed by the two of you.
Mm.
You understand my point?
Yeah.
Because we all have our privacy.
Yeah.
If my wife feels that my phone is there and she'd want to, pick it up and probably go through it, I wouldn't have a problem. But I personally wouldn't want to go into my wife's phone if there is nothing there that I would want to really, go for. I wouldn't do that. So I think it's a good topic that you guys are discussing.
Thank you very much, Nana. We hope you join us another time. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Let me
So,
just quickly.
no. You want to react to what he said?
Yeah, I mean.
No, he said that the two will be one is biblical, so you are done with that one. And
Let me add something quickly to that. So as I said, all right, trust is very important.
Okay.
And let's be very practical here. Things to do with, for example, your password, because I also know or have heard of people who unfortunately, die or something, and they can't even access anything of theirs. All right. Mm-hmm. That is a reality. So what I believe is that as couples, it is okay if I know your password, I know I can have access to your phone, you can have access to my phone. But then there is a second bit to it. Remember the pillars I talked about? There is respect. So I need to also respect your privacy and not to make it a daily habit of coming to take your phone and pry and check everything. All right? So there should be that flexibility. I should trust you enough for you to have access to my phone. You should trust me enough to have access to my phone. But then I have a responsibility, all right, to respect you and not to abuse that trust you've given me. It works hand in hand. You cannot just say, okay, couples can decide. Listen, couples can decide, say, don't look at mine. But I tell you, in the end, all right, it brings a lot of problems because it creates a lot of suspicion. And then people start to pry more. And that is when, if they get the least opportunity, they would want to do more. But if you're open, I know literally what you do, you know literally what I do, but I respect your privacy, and you also respect my privacy. Then the journey, all right, the marriage can continue and be peaceful for a longer time and for as far as you can go.
Isaac, let me pick this call and then I'll come back to you. Good evening, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is KK.
Hi, KK. Please let's hear you. Kindly turn down the volume of your set, please.
Okay.
So let's hear you. Please turn down the volume. We're getting feedback. Well, looks like we lost our caller here. So, guys, let me just ask this question. At what point do we create a limit to having access to each other's phone?
For me, I still stand by my earlier point. Having access to each other's phone should be a mutual agreement. It shouldn't be that one person feels or believes that because you are married, I must have access to your phone. If from the onset we agree that look, we are now that we are married, there's no
Okay.
aspect of our life. We have a call.
Let me pause
Okay.
you. Yes. Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from. Hello, caller.
The boys will look for you.
Hello. Okay. I think we're having some issues, and I'm sure the caller will try to call back again. Alfred.
Yes. So my point is that from the onset of the marriage or the relationship, once both of us agree that these areas of our life, i.e., maybe financial, mobile phone, everything, there's no way you can check on anything. It's the two of us who have agreed.
Yeah.
And that is how the relationship will grow. You see, no two relationships are ever the same. Even if you pick two pastors in the same church, their marriages will be different.
Okay.
So then from the onset, once we agree on what we want to do, it's as simple as that.
So you have to agree on what to.
The two of us must agree.
All right. Let me hold you on again. Good evening, caller. Your name and where you're calling from.
Good evening. I'm Williams. I'm talking from Asante Achimagugu.
All right. Let's hear you, sir.
I really like your topic, and you guys are doing a very good work.
Thank you.
But there's one thing that I think we should all know.
Okay.
From our fathers and mamas, okay, I think they never had much secret, okay, and I think that keeps their marriage and their partnership growing.
Okay.
I think in a relationship, Bible said, and the two shall be one. If the two shall be one, a person can never keep a secret. So I don't see why a partner should have secret in terms of their phone or like. And you know, once you keep your password from your partner, Bible said, if your heart sets you free, you have confidence before the Lord. So if there's nothing wrong on your phone, I don't see why you should keep it away from your partner. If you think there is nothing to hide from her, okay. But then once you keep her away from your phone and some other things, okay. Definitely, he's also a human being. He's gonna think that, oh no, baby, okay.
So is it? So are you saying that you don't think it is okay to discuss and agree that look, we are partners now, we are married now, let's go this line, let's toe this line, than assuming that we are one and so everything has to be one? You don't agree to that?
Oh yeah, I do. I agree. Okay, but you know, if we have privacy, each person should have a privacy. Okay, no matter what. That's why the fact that we are married and all those stuff. That's why the Father Bible said the two shall be one. Okay, so we are individuals and we will get privacy. But I think if your partner has access to some of your let's say your gadgets, especially because that is what is actually the fight between partners. If your partner has access to your phone and your password, I don't think as a mature person or your partner will ever be trying to go through your phone or just nothing. But you know that idea about partner to find your phone pan is when there is something fishy. Okay, when she's smelling, he's smelling something. But if he has your password,
when there's something fishy, and the phone is something fishy, what do we do?
Okay.
He doesn't even need to go through because he knows that he already have the password and he can go through everything.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the call.
Thank you.
We're grateful. Hey, relax. Look, I'm gonna have to take your last words, but let's just take this for the last time. You think it's okay, or you are saying it's okay, but there should be some respect. For that respect and maturity's sake, right?
Exactly.
And Alfred, you are saying no, you should both agree.
Yes, you should both agree. But then again,
can I ask Alfred one?
hold on.
question?
Let him land.
Then again, if you are saying that you should share, but then there should be respect, then take the respect of let me have access to it 24/7.
No, you have access
So that's
to
what I'm
it.
saying. That
Listen, you have
that's what I'm
access
saying.
to
Listen.
it.
So yes, so the mutual understanding is
But,
that look,
but you see,
you have access to my
don't
phone.
abuse
However,
it. You see, the most important. See, listen, guys. All I'm saying is, if there's nothing to hide,
yeah.
hold on. If there's nothing to hide, I should have access to it.
Good.
But there's a responsibility on my side. If I want the marriage to continue and do well, to show respect. All right,
but
and
you're not
not
the same
abuse
case.
it.
This
This phone is very
Listen.
addictive.
No,
You
you're
have to
speaking
get
my
on it
language.
and you want to go and go and go.
and not abuse it. That's it.
So you're saying the mutual respect. Look,
Exactly.
you are getting access for me and you as you are married. You are getting access to my phone. Don't abuse it. That's the two of you.
Yeah,
How you understand
but the
it?
part I don't.
What
Personally,
does
hold on.
don't
The part,
abuse it mean?
the part.
As,
Hold on.
Yes. What does
Hold
that
on, hold
mean?
on. The
Explain to us.
part I don't subscribe to is you saying, okay, we need to agree to say, okay, nobody is going to touch our phones, and that's where the mistrust.
Hold on.
Hold on.
No,
Can I land?
I
Can I land?
get.
Can I
No.
land?
That's
Let
where
me-
the
let me
mistrust
finish.
starts. I get it.
No.
Hold on.
Does your
I
wife
want to
have
ask-
access to your phone?
Yes.
All your phones.
I want to. Yes. I want to ask one question.
Go ahead.
Is it good to say because we have our privacy and we are individuals, we can have certain agreements? So is it good to say that when you see me at the beginning of the marriage, we say when you see me with any girls, I'm holding them. I'm doing.
That is
Hold
that's
on.
downright
Oh, that
immoral.
one you are
the two
saying.
examples are different.
They're not different. You see,
You are
you
married,
see.
you don't have to be holding girls in town.
But you are
Alright,
married,
that's
but you
so-
have to be
so-
chatting
so-
on
that's
this
different.
thing.
So
The examples- the
it's
two
getting
examples
hotter
are
in here. If I don't hold these guys,
That's
up, we
different.
won't leave here today. Unfortunately, this is all time can permit me. We'll speak to the producers and see if we have to come back to do a part 2 of this, because there seems to be more to discuss. Thank you so much for being part of this evening. We are grateful. What we can say is just stay safe so that we can see you next week. I love to see you, and I'm sure you love to see us. Let's all stay alive. That's what's important. We'll see you next week.